it doesn't matter if you're the best programmer. If you can't communicate and work in a team, you have a hard time, I think. No, it wasn't. The course started out quite general, sort of doing some hardware programming, networking, and then as time went on, I sort of found myself being drawn to more of the web development and sort of making things look good and work in a functional way. First job would have been through a friend of a friend, actually, and that was setting up a WordPress site with a booking form. And that was quite cool to sort of see the process from just an idea into a finished product, and you sort of got a good handle of dealing with clients and sticking to a budget. Well, thanks. Yeah, I think you sort of need to be. It doesn't matter if you're the best programmer. If you can't communicate and work in a team, you have a hard time, I think. There's some really good online graphs of macro trends on year of technologies, languages, and content management systems. So you can look at that and sort of get an idea of where the industry's heading, as well as just what I find interesting and what would complement my skill set. I'd say JavaScript. I think there's so much to learn in there with all the different libraries from the older jQuery to the newer React and Node.js. And then there's also great animation libraries like Greensock and 3JS. So I think that those are really good. I've been doing some cool stuff with PHP and recently, and yeah. Yeah, I think especially with smaller clients, you sort of need to be able to do everything. So that's getting a server going, hooking up the domain name, and then once that's all going, you might need to migrate a database. You sort of need to know what's going on there. And, yeah, all-time favorite. When I was working at Barnes Catmer and Friends Dentsu, we did a job for a client who was a non-for-profit, helping refugees settle into the New Zealand way of life, which I found really rewarding, a fun project to work on. And then another one would be we did a Facebook Live and video, and I wrote some code that checked what reactions and how many there were, and then that would go back into my code, be tallied and displayed as a graph, and then that was put into like a screen, and then that was recorded and then put on the live stream. So then when people could vote, and then so if they put a heart there, and that would show up. And yeah, that was pretty cool, pretty nerve wracking at the same time because there's all this paid media, so it just had to work. Oh, I think I've always grown up with Android and Windows, but over the last few years, I've been using a lot more Mac, and I think there's pros and cons to each. So I'm not really fussed either way. I would say when you start off, you're going to suck. You're going to be looking at code, wondering why it's not working for hours on end. But eventually, you'll figure it out, and that's the same for everyone. And then slowly, you'll learn what those pitfalls were and how to avoid them. So no matter where you see yourself, you'll always be able to get yourself out of trouble.